Welcome back to the After Church Show with Greg and friends. You're locked into WXSL Street Legal Radio, www.streetlegalradio.com. Be sure also to check out our website, theafterchurchshow.com. Has all of our social media information on there as well, so you can follow us on the various different social media networks. You can also go to our fan page. We have a fan page on Facebook, After Church Radio Show. We put little things on there throughout the course of the week. The main thing that we like to do is engage with our ACS question of the week. So if you're a member of the fan page, you'll see the ACS question of the week, and you can participate by letting us know what your opinion is on the various different polls that we have throughout the course of the week. So we thank you guys for tuning in to us, and we thank you for taking a ride with us today. We really enjoy what we do, so we're grateful to all of our fans out there. Next topic, Chris, we had a story that we saw this week, and we both actually saw this one, kind of talked about it, but a recent report revealed that the Baltimore City Police Department was using aerial surveillance camera systems to monitor criminal activity in problem areas. A lot of people got upset because they weren't aware of it before that they were doing it. But the social media outlets have been on fire about this matter since it was confirmed in the news earlier this week. So a lot of people posted comments that oppose the actions, saying that it's an invasion of their privacy and they don't want nobody looking at them, blah, 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 blah. And then there were people that actually posted comments in full support of the action, right. As well, saying thank you, there'll be some things that will be caught as a result of this, blah, blah, blah. So how do you feel about this as a private citizen is the question. Do you think that this is okay? Do you feel comfortable with it or not?
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be the person that, or let me rephrase that. I'm not gonna be the conspiracy theorist that I could be, but
I would.
I assume that they're watching us anyway. This isn't a big secret. Our government has been filming us secretly for many, many years. They can hear what you're saying when you're in your house if they want to.
If they want to.
Yeah, they can.
Enemy of the State. If you don't believe
right.
that, go rent or download Enemy of the State with Will Smith, and you will see the truth.
Right. So it doesn't bother me. I get the idea that they want to use it. They want to use it for just in case, to watch what's going on,
yeah.
to catch criminals faster. But I already assumed they were doing it. So like when they say on breaking news, you don't think that they doing that already?
I just yawned. I literally yawned. It was like, oh, okay.
I watched the episode. I forgot. I think it was on A&E. You know how they had those real deep stories.
You like that stuff, man.
Yeah,
Chris like watching those type shows.
Shout out to my boy Justin Ventura. We're gonna expose it. It's like no joke. They can shoot something on your car without you even knowing, and listen to everything in your car and track where you're going. They can do it all, and they do it. So.
Sure.
This isn't a shock.
That's the whole thing with the cell phones now,
right.
where they what is it called, a mock tower or something like that, so they can find your cell phone.
Right.
Please, they can listen to your conversation with these mock towers. That's
right.
really all it is.
Somebody can sit outside your house. They have movies about this.
Yeah.
Sit outside your house. They can hear what your phone conversation is. They can hear what you're talking about.
Dude, I have always said the stuff that we see in movies. Now, if you pay attention. The stuff that we see in movies, it's always 5 or 6 years behind.
Right.
So once you see something in a movie, it's been happening probably for a decade or two already, and you don't even realize. They just revealing it to you, through propaganda, and that's how you massage it into your psyche. I don't want to get too deep on radio, but basically, if I introduce it to you in another form, like i.e. entertainment.
Right. Then
your brain accepts it. So then when I really tell you that I'm doing it, it's like it's almost a subconscious thought to you. Like it's no big deal.
Right.
So that's kind of, my wife probably rolling her eyes right now because I stay on the conspiracy theory thing. But I think that my opinion is this. Here's my opinion, honestly, and I agree with you 100%. I assume that everything that I'm doing is being watched anyway.
Right.
I mean, if you look even down to car insurance companies now, and they're trying to do it as well. If you put this device on your car so we can see what your driving pattern is, then you'll get cheaper insurance. What do you think that is? It's a monitor.
Right.
It's going to tell me where your car is parked, where you're driving, how fast you're driving it. Next thing you know, you talk about, you call up your insurance company and say, yeah, I was just sitting at the light and, somebody plowed into me and I wasn't even in the car. And they'll pull up the information from this little device and be like, well, we had the car doing 65.
Right.
And we showed that it stopped all of a sudden. You sure you wasn't driving it?
Gotcha. That's like, there's been times where I've Google search something or Amazon search something.
Yeah.
And I go on Facebook and
right
I see
in your
an
feed.
ad in my feed for that very same thing.
Come on,
that
people.
That is not coincidence, people.
Wake up, America.
So the fact that even with the blimps, when those blimps, before that one just got away and they stopped their program, they didn't tell you what they were doing.
Right.
They just put them up there, and then when people started asking, they were like, oh, it's facing the base, we got to get some aerial shots and all that.
Right.
They're doing it anyway.
That's straight paramilitary, bro.
Right.
Why you think a blimp is always over a major football game? Come on. We don't need a blimp to take pictures.
Or to show ads.
Exactly.
So ads in the stadium.
They watching the stadium, baby. If something pop off in that stadium, it's gonna go down.
Right.
That's all it is.
Right.
So, but either way.
That ain't just regular police in the stadiums, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
They especially with heightened security and all these things going on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's some go-getter boys around somewhere.
You say go-getter boys. But back to BPD. So I think that the surveillance to me doesn't bother me at all. To be quite honest, and we said this in our meeting, man. But from like a Christian perspective, the thing is this: if you aren't living in a way that is wrong, then there's nothing wrong with surveillance. There's surveillance at the gas station. There's surveillance at your favorite mall. There's surveillance at just about every other stoplight now. Those aren't speed cameras. Right. And you find them in both the good and the bad neighborhoods. So I don't want to hear, people, the only difference is that you see the boxes in some of the bad neighborhoods, they got the blue light on them. Right. I guess they just letting you know. And it's real open. But if you ride through the various different suburban areas, you look on those lights and you see that little telescopic lens up there, that camera. What you think it's for? It's not for traffic. It's for surveillance.
Yeah, and they watching it. Just like you said, as a Christian, there are people that are always watching. I've learned that, there are times when I just want to take a break from social media, and I'll post it just in case, because I don't want people to think like, oh, he left or he deleted me or whatever. Not that some
people think that you died if you're not on social media. Right. Is the brother okay? Like I'm fine. I'm just not logging into that.
So that's why I make an announcement. Hey, for the next 30 days, I just won't be on. You won't see me. So people, but I've realized that every time I post that, it's somebody who don't like my posts, don't like my pictures or anything, that say, hey man, you've been an inspiration. I hope you don't leave and you come back soon. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't even know that. So it's like somebody is always watching you, watching your every move. And it's not just people that has a secret agenda. It's people that some ways, somehow, not necessarily somehow, but God is using you to bless them. Sure. And you don't even know it. And that's why it's important to live a righteous life.
Live a righteous life as best you can, man. Because if not, I mean, there's never a point when somebody's not tuned into what you're doing.
Right.
Plain and simple. So, I'm not surprised. I'm not upset. And for those people who are getting upset and all mad because there's a plane flying over you, taking pictures of you, get over it. Because it was planes flying over you way before that plane flew over you.
Right.
It's just now that now Baltimore City got a couple planes that they use them. That's the only difference. But we see you.
Yeah,
we
drones,
always see you.
There's drones galore out there now.
Right. They got one that looks like a bird. I actually watched. It was a advertisement. It looks and flies like a bird. It has an erratic pattern, so you don't know that it's a drone. It flies like a bird. It looks almost like a crow or a raven. Crazy, right?
That is crazy.
Exactly. So you'll wind up. Somebody's got a picture of you somewhere, and it's nothing you can do about it. I always say there's no such thing as privacy. There's only privacy laws. Because privacy went out the window a long time ago.
And I read a while ago that that's the reason. Back in the day, a lot of people used lead paint because when they were doing the satellite stuff, they couldn't see your house if it had that painted. I don't know
Oh, like
how true
Superman?
that is.
Like Superman can't see through lead?
Right. I don't know how true that is, but it's like the government is going to do what they want to do. People
All up
shouldn't
in your
be
house,
shot.
man.
I mean, what do you have to hide that you're worried about?
They watch you through your cable box.
They do.
We're gonna have people go home and put pillowcases over there. Over their cable box.
I got a joke real quick before
Yeah.
I get to your thoughts. So I'm not going to say any names. So one person was talking to another person. I'll just say it like this.
Uh-huh.
And
There's a picture. See, it's a drone. There's a picture of a drone that looks like a bird. If you don't believe me, Google it.
Google
Like a
it.
seagull.
Just
Yeah.
Google. Yeah,
It look like a
that
seagull.
one looks like a seagull. I'm not exaggerating. It's a drone. Fly right up to you.
Right.
Walk.
Right.
You like that? Look at the
Look
birdie.
at that bird. Right.
Look at the birdie. Taking pictures. Go ahead and tell you.
Right. So real quick. So one person was talking to the other person. Called them on the work phone
Mhm.
and said, "Don't call me on this government phone. Call me on my cell phone." And I'm like, so you think your work phone is a government phone?
Right.
You work in a doctor's office,
Right.
so you're not like White House employee,
Uh-huh.
but you do realize that they can listen on your cell phone
Probably easier.
easier than
Mhm.
on your work phone.
Yeah.
I just thought that was
That
kinda
signal
funny.
runs through a satellite.
Right. And they can tell where you are.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just had to tell that story. I thought it was very funny.
Hey, bro, I got you, man. I got you. Good stuff, though. Hey, no privacy, people. But final thoughts are this. I was just thinking about this, and it all spawned from a news story that I saw last week. And my thoughts are this, very simply. Good Samaritans do still exist. I watched a recent news story about a young man, local Baltimore youth. He was playing basketball with his friends, and unfortunately, he was shot by a stray bullet, which left him in critical condition. So, our hearts and prayers definitely go out to him while he's recovering. But what happened while he was in the hospital is what prompted the thought: Good Samaritans are still around. According to shock trauma officials, the young man's name is Lamont. I won't give his last name, but his name is Lamont. He used 25 units of blood when he was admitted to the hospital because of the severity of his wound, his gunshot wound. While he was in the hospital, his mother organized a blood drive in her son's name because she was thankful for the work that the hospital had done and how they had moved so quickly to save his life in the midst of his injuries. The blood drive was held at Shock Trauma, and they got 70 donors, which is nearly double the usual average whenever they have a blood drive. So this made me think, you know what, there are good people in this world, because the people that donated blood, various different cultures, various different genders, but there are good people in this world, and despite all the negativity that's in this world, and despite all the things that we see on TV saying that, good people don't exist, or, always talking about the negative, because that seems to be what the media likes to focus on, there are those people who are still willing to lend a helping hand whenever it's needed. So it made me think about Hebrews 13:16, where it says, "Do not forget to do good and to share with others, for with such sacrifices, God is pleased." So what am I saying? I'm saying this. The ACS challenge of the week is this. While you're out and about this week, while you're doing your thing, while you're taking care of your family, running errands, going to work, whatever you find yourself involved in this week, I want you to do one thing. Find an opportunity to be a good Samaritan in somebody else's life. Find an opportunity this week and intentionally look for an opportunity to help someone who is in need. It can be the person standing on the corner when you know you've got change in your ashtray. It can be somebody that's hot that needs a glass of water. It can be somebody that needs some food. It can be as simple as helping somebody take bags of grocery from their car to their front porch. But whatever it is, find an opportunity to do good this week. Let your light so shine that other people will recognize and know who Jesus Christ is based upon what you do and not what you say. This has been the ACS Challenge of the Week. This has been the After Church Show with Greg and Friends. I'm your host and producer, GB. To my right is my man, Massey. He always holds it down with me. Big shout out to Kai and Nicole. We know you're listening, dear. and we appreciate you, and certainly want to shout out our engineer, Sade. We've enjoyed the broadcast today. We hope that you've done the same. Keep it locked to WXSL Street Legal Radio, www.streetlegalradio.com. Have an awesome day and be blessed on your journey. We'll see you next week.